Now we see prime analysts that get paid top dollar. Everybody thought Penn State and Texas was going to be good. Now I think this is a result of a couple of things. One, I think the major thing is that NIL and transfer portal is making these games a lot closer. Even when I talk to people around me, when you look at Texas against an unranked Florida, when you look at a team that's ranked in the top 10 compared to an unranked opponent, back a couple of years ago, that spread is like a 14-point spread. Now that spread's like a 4-point spread. You just see the gap of talent shorten between these programs so much. And that's because of the NIL and transfer portal. It's not 1, 2, 3 teams have all the talent. And a lot of these teams that are, ranked from like 25 to 35 are still really good football teams with a lot of talent. I think it makes the sport a lot better as a whole. Now, the second thing that I think why these teams are unranked is because it's just too much hype and too much expectation and people getting blown up through the roof. I mean, we know it. When you talk about somebody in pro sports breaking out, you've seen 3-4 years of their college career. You've seen a couple of seasons. And then you want to make that prediction. That makes a lot of sense. For somebody like an Arch Manning, who, again, I thought was going to be a great quarterback, the sample size that you are going off of for a lot of these schools and teams and players is so tiny in your prediction. So there is way more room for error, I believe, than it is, like I said, in a pro sport. When you've seen a guy play a handful of games at the college level, then you see him play a handful of games on the pro level. Like when you're looking at a guy that's played 4 games in college football, you're looking at a guy that's played a season in college football. I feel like the sample size is so small and it increases your room of error to get things wrong. Now, again, like I said, I think it's also because of, just missed opportunities, failed opportunities, not season moments that you should have. Like, again, Penn State, Texas, they played games that I believe this weekend they definitely should have won. It did not happen, though. But, yeah, I think, going forward in college football, for people like me who cover college football to the highest level of analysts, people are just going to continue to get things wrong because, like I said, the sample size that you see certain players and certain teams are so small, and you're looking at such, little plays and games to determine things. And the gap is just getting smaller and smaller with the new age of college football. Again, I personally love it. I don't mind being wrong at all, especially in senses like a Penn State, a Clemson, a Texas. These teams that everybody thought was going to make the college football playoffs. These teams that everybody thought was going to be great. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have Penn State as my national champion. And I know other well-regarded analysts that had Clemson, Texas as a national champion. It's like, again, if you were going to come out here and say you didn't think any of these teams were going to be good, you're just lying to yourself. That is not the case. That gets into my little rant about that.